Hello everyone, I'm Minoxen and this is my War Thunder tank spotlight for the British A43 Black Prince. Let's get things started with the holy trinity of tank design: armor, firepower, and mobility. We'll start with armor. The Black Prince is easily the most well-armored tank in its battle rating of 6.0, bringing a massive 152mm of frontal armor to both the hull and turret means that this tank will be all but impossible for lower tier tanks to penetrate from the front. Add in an appropriate angling to your tank and you can deflect or nullify rounds from many of the deadly foes you're likely to face. While the sides are well armored by most standards, you're still vulnerable to just about any gun with an armor-piercing round when struck directly from the side. Thankfully, just like with the frontal armor, a little bit of angling goes a long way in making your vulnerable sides great at causing ricochets and stopping shells. The 51mm of rear hull armor can slow down small rounds, but like most tanks, your rear end is your major weakness. The turret is well armored all around with some great angles for deflecting rounds. The armor isn't perfect and there are a few weak spots that you should know about. The machine gun ports on both the hull and turret can be more easily penetrated than other areas of your armor, but proper placement of camo bushes can be a great way to limit enemies' ability to aim at these locations. Besides that, protect your sides, rear, and gun barrel. Speaking of the gun, let's move on to firepower. The Prince's British 17-pounder is a solid gun and can certainly take down a wide variety of enemies. It has an amazing maximum reload speed of 5.9 seconds, which is at least a second faster than many of the enemies you'll see. Like all British tanks, the Prince's 17-pounder is all about penetrating enemy armor. This can cause some frustration for tankers in War Thunder because, unlike real life, the only way you're killing an enemy tank is by taking out every last member of the crew. You get the option of 6 shell types, but your bread and butter is the SV Mark I, an armor-piercing discarding sabot round made of tungsten carbide, which is twice as dense as steel. This round can penetrate up to 228mm at point blank and still keep enough power to punch through the front of a Tiger I at up to 2 kilometers. While the sabot can get through the armor of most tanks, you'll need that first shot to count. Always aim to take out the enemy's gunner or cannon breech first to give plenty of time for reloading and finishing the job. Another important shell, recently added in 1.69, is the smoke round. If you're hopping between cover or just need some alone time to get Nigel back in the driver's seat, the smoke round is a great advantage that you should at least bring a few of. A high explosive round might not be a bad idea either, but your coaxial machine gun can handle most other small threats. While discussing firepower, let's see how much ammo you should bring for this behemoth. While it can carry 88 shells, most tankers will want to reduce the odds of an ammo explosion. To do this, we'll only load enough ammo to fill the racks that we want to bring. The Prince has 7 racks, and the most important one to remove is number 1, kept just behind the driver and right below the loader. 77 shells will mean that this rack is kept empty, and an unfortunate driver or loader kill won't result in your whole tank going down. Bringing 38 rounds will eliminate all of the racks on the left side of your tank, making it your preferred side to offer to the enemy when you're angled. Finally, we discuss the final member of the Trinity: mobility. Easily the Black Prince's greatest weakness is its horrible mobility. A top speed of 17 kilometers an hour on most terrain and a blazing 18 on a paved street will not get you to the front line very quickly, which leaves you very prone to enemy flanking. While the turret boasts a solid 15.9 degrees per second rotation, the tank's hull traverse is an appalling 7.2 degrees when moving forward. The key with steering this tank lies in the triple differential steering when in neutral. Using this, you can get more than double the moving hull traverse speed at 15 degrees per second. Combine this with the turret traverse and you can get onto target at up to 30 degrees per second. For hill climbing, it has great ground pressure, but its poor horsepower to ton ratio will mean that most hills bring you to a crawl. And like most British tanks, reverse is not an option for retreat. Learn to plan out your routes and keep it in a straight line as much as possible. When you get to where you need to pivot, come to a quick stop, adjust your heading, and roll out. You're never going to outmaneuver your foes, so make a plan and find a location to stick it out. Your ideal position will be at long range where most guns can't get through your angled armor, so keep some cover or an ally nearby to keep from being flanked. With the Trinity done, I'll discuss a few key points to make the most out of your time in the Black Prince. Know your foes. At the beginning of the round, you will be able to determine the battle rating of the match that you're in. The Black Prince costs 450 spawn points in a 5-0 to 6-0 match, 400 in a 5-3 to 6-3, 340 in a 5-7 to 6-7, and 300 in a 6-0 to 7-0. While you'll be king of the hill at 5.0 to 6.0 with only a few tanks that you need to fear getting in through the front door, anything above that and the Black Prince really begins to struggle. At around 6.3, half of the tanks on the battlefield can eliminate the Black Prince's strongest attribute of armor, and 6.7 to 7, your 17-pounder will then be lackluster. That's why bringing a diverse lineup to the battlefield is important. Here's my suggestion for a 6.0 lineup. Your primary backup is going to be the FV4202. It offers a solid support tank with smoke grenades, smoke rounds, and the awesome 20-pounder. For my mobility option, I like to bring the Comet 1 or the Iron Duke. It boasts the same 17-pounder gun as the Black Prince, but it has great forward mobility for getting to those capture zones quickly. Anti-air, you're going to bring either the Crusader Mark 1 or the Mark 2, but both of those will have issues. If you're going to bring air power to a ground battle, then you need to get a good lawnmower. The Brits have a whole host of good lawnmowers, but the Wyvern at 5.0 is definitely the most notable, but it's also premium. So outside of that, look to pick up the 4.0 Firefly FR Mark V and its 16 RP3 rockets. If the enemies already control the air, then you're going to need a good air superiority fighter. To keep the air clean of enemy firepower in ground battles, it's hard to outperform the Spitfire. Since most of the planes will be engaging at low altitude and low speeds, the turning and climbing capabilities of the Spitfire is very strong. Just keep in mind your ammo. And with that, it's time for the final breakdown. The Black Prince boasts great armor, a great gun, but lacks mobility. I would strongly suggest you invest in some camo bushes to help conceal your armor's weak points. Pay close attention to the match's battle rating and enemy nations so you know what tanks can kill you and what to watch out for. Always angle your armor to your enemy and don't stare at them head on with your turret. Fire and then angle so they don't have an easy mantlet kill. If at all possible, bring a friend. It's always nice to have someone watch your back. Be sure before you bring out the Black Prince you know where you're going. Get familiar with each of the maps and know good locations where the Black Prince can perform. And finally, remember to reduce your ammo to at least 77 so you can eliminate your worst ammo rack. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and come visit me on Twitch and Twitter. As this is a new series, please leave suggestions in the comments in case I missed anything. Well, I'll catch you next time.